8th graders. Welcome to our online career class. I hope that so far your online classes have been smooth and you aren't having too much trouble. I just want you guys to know that, again, I am here to help you, whether it be through email, you can text or call me. But I just want to make sure that you guys are asking questions when you have them, because I'm more than happy to help. This week in careers class, we're going to focus on self-assessment, and you will take 3 quizzes online on the Nebraska Career Connections website, which you will have to register for. You'll take 3 tests that will tell you kind of what career pathways you should be looking at, career occupations that you should be looking at because of how they align to your interests, your skills, and your values. The reason why we are doing these self-assessments is so that you understand your options. Again, this career class is not designed for you at the end of the quarter as an 8th grader to decide, what career you are going into and what career you're for sure going to be stuck with for the rest of your high school life. It's really for you to understand your options, limit down your options, and try to figure out what cluster you belong in. And after you take these different self-assessments, you should have a better idea of what pathways you should be looking at and what clusters you should be looking at. And there may be some options out there that you aren't even aware of. And so these self-assessments will help you explore your options a little bit more. You want to make sure that you're watching this entire video because in a little bit I'm going to go through how to register on the Nebraska Career Connections website, and I'm going to show you how to take the skills assessments and interest assessments and answer the questions that I have for you in Google Classroom in that doc that I've shared with you. I just want you to know that this week my expectations for you are to finish the 3 quizzes and to answer all the questions I have in the doc that I share with you on Google Classroom. Again, I am here to answer any of your questions. You can finish all of these quizzes and the entire doc in one day, be done for the week, or you can stretch it out and go at your own leisure, just as long as you have it finished by next Sunday. I probably will have a bell work, more like a question of the day for you on Friday. Just something fun to see what you guys are doing to keep yourself busy, just to kind of lighten the mood with all of what's going on around you. But you'll want to stay tuned because I'm going to walk you through how to register on the Career Connections website and how to take the assessment, so stay tuned. Okay, to have access to the self-assessments, you need to go to your classwork in Google Classroom and then click on this document that I've shared with all of you. When you open the document, it should automatically give you your own copy of this, so there's no need to make a copy. You already have your own, so you can type in here if you need to. But the first thing I want you to do in this document is go to this link that I've provided you. Yes, we know the schools are closed. You can just ignore that announcement because I'm sure we're all aware of school not being open. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is where it says create an account, I want you to click on this. Alright, and then it's going to ask you if you are what grade level you're at, so choose a junior high or high school student. And then go to next step. Okay, once you press next steps, you should be directed to this screen that I'm looking at right now. Once you are here, enter your current grade level as 9th grade, where you're going to time travel and you're going to pretend that you are a freshman. Your high school graduation year, which I believe is 2023, and then your activation code is going to be all capital letters, but starting with capital N, 4346539, capital F, capital S, capital R. Once you have that activation code entered in, you will click Next Steps. But before we do that, I want you to know that if, for whatever reason, you're watching this video and you're forgetting the navigation code, I have that in the instructions right here in red. Okay? So, for whatever reason, if you need to have something to look at while you're doing this, there is the activation code right there. But we're going to click Next Steps. Okay, here you will enter your first name, so I'll put Alexa Winkler, your zip code, I put the zip code in Gearing because that's what came up. You can put the Morrill zip code if you live in Morrill. And your birth date here, and I'm just going to make up a birth date. Your gender. And just choose email here. Do not choose text message or neither, just choose email. And you're going to use your MPS Lions email. So your school email here. After you've entered all this information, we can go to the next step. Okay, now you are going to have to choose a desired username. I'll do A Winkler. It's probably already in use, so I'm going to do 23. Choose a password that you will remember. I will choose Walrus 23. Not a great password, but one that I will remember. Walrus 23. After you've entered this in, I'd like you to go to the document that I've shared with you and type in the username that you're using and your password that you're using. That way you do not forget. So once you have that, choose a security question. I'm going to go with city of birth, Scottsbluff. Okay. Once you've finished that, choose your next step. Okay, the next step is going to be, they're going to ask you what nationality you are. You can prefer not to answer. I don't really care. I mean, you can answer this if you want. If you don't want to, then that's fine. But it will make you select one, or I prefer not to answer once again. Okay. Make sure you click on I have read and agree to the terms and conditions of use. If for whatever reason you want to read through all of the terms and conditions, you can click on that link. But like most privacy and terms and conditions, this is very long. So I mean, you can, if you're really bored, you can read through that. I, however, am not going to. Once you finish all of this, click Sign Me Up. Okay, and here we are. This is your dashboard for Career Connections. Some of you may remember using this last year. Some of you probably don't remember this at all. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking some self-assessments like I talked about in the beginning of this video. And then this next part I will show you how to take those assessments. Okay, now in your dashboard, you're going to see 3 assessments here. For this assignment, you will be taking all 3 assessments, starting with the interest assessment. And this shouldn't take you too long. But what I did is I just clicked Begin. And then it's going to ask you what is the highest level of education that you expect to achieve. And let's say I want to get a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree. Depending on what you want to do, for example, if you want to be a professor in a college and teach science, you would have to get a doctorate or professional degree. If you want to do anything in medical, a lot of times it's going to require a doctorate or professional degree. But if I want to be a teacher, that is just going to require a bachelor's degree. Once I've selected my highest level of education that I expect to achieve, I will begin my assessment. And again, this shouldn't take you too long, but there are, I think, a few pages that you'll have to go through. but I'll just give you some examples starting out. So the first interest it's asking me is, do you agree with that you like to perform for an audience? Okay, if I'm someone that really does not like performing in front of an audience, doesn't like to talk in front of an audience, I'm going to say dislike. However, if I'm someone that really enjoys being in front of an audience, I really like it, I'm going to say strongly like or like. I would refrain from choosing neutral on any of these because that will skew your results and it won't give you very good results. So try to choose either dislike, like, strongly like, or strongly dislike. So I'll just show you, for the sake of this, I'm just going to go like all these. I don't want you to do that either because again that won't give you very accurate results. So I'll put dislike on a couple of these. I'm going to pause this and then go till the end. Okay, I've just finished the first assessment. So it'll show me, after I finish the interest assessment, it'll show me my top career pathways. So after you finish, I want you to take a look at your results, and then you'll have to go back into the self-assessment assignment and answer the questions I've provided you. So after reviewing these results, I'll go back into the assignment, and the first question asks, what are your top 5 career pathways based on this assessment? So I'll go in here and I would type professional support services, number 1, law enforcement services, number 2, and so on. Once you get that question answered, the next question is go to the Occupations to Explore tab. What are 3 occupations you would like to explore? Okay, the Occupation Explorer tab is right next to your assessment results. And these occupations to explore are based on your results. So if I'm looking at this, I can also do maybe 25 entries if none of these look that good to me. And it's probably not working on my computer right now because my internet is not that good. But I would choose maybe intelligent analyst, fish and game warden, and maybe a forensic science technician. And then I'd record those for number 6. Number 7 asks, are the results what you expected, why or why not? And you can answer that however you want based on your results. Once you finish this assessment, go back to your dashboard by clicking Home. And in your dashboard, it'll tell you that you have completed the Cooter Career Interest Assessment. So the next one I want you to complete is the Cooter Skills Confidence Assessment. So this will tell you, what do you believe you're good at doing? So click Begin. And then it'll go right into giving you statements and whether or not you can do them. Slightly certain can do, moderately certain can do, very certain can do, completely certain can do. So for example, first one is read several scientific articles and write a concise summary. I do not feel like this is something I can do very well, so maybe I'll choose number 2. Build a doghouse. I feel like this is another thing I probably could not do, so I'm going to do 2. Welcome people I've never met to a conference. I feel like this is something I am certain I can do, so I'm going to choose 5. And so on. If for whatever reason you get interrupted by a sibling or a parent, or you have to go and do something, make sure that you just click Finish Later. And it'll ask you if you want to continue, and if you do, continue. That way you don't lose your results. If, for example, and I know this would never happen to any of you, but if a sibling comes and interrupts you, that way you can start off where you ended without having to start all over. So then when you log back in and go to your dashboard, you can finish. So it'll tell you that you have 30 days remaining on this, and you can go ahead and click Finish. And I'm going to pause this and go through the assessment. Okay, once I'm finished with the Skills Confidence Assessment, it'll show me my results, and again my top career pathways, and hopefully this will look similar to your interest survey. but you'll need to look those over and again answer the questions in your assignment. So looking at these results, I'll go in and answer the questions for assessment 2, since this is the second assessment that I've taken. First question is going to be similar to the first question from your last assessment, which is, what were your top 5 career pathways in your results? So again, I'll go in, look at my top 5 career pathways, and I will put them right here. The second question is, go to the Majors to Explore tab in your results page. What are 3 majors that interest you? So I'll go in here, go to Majors to Explore, and I'll pick some that interest me here. And you'll see there's 12 pages, so I'd like you to explore some of these pages, see what kind of majors you'd be interested in. And then the last question is, are your results similar to the last assessment you took? Explain. So I'm looking at, for this question, I'll be looking at how I answered question number 4 and what my top 5 career pathways were, and I'll compare to what they were in my first assessment. And if they're similar, I would write here, yes, they are similar, which doesn't surprise me because, it's another assessment and I answered the questions very similarly to how I answered them in the first assessment, or something similar to that. So now that I finished the confidence assessment, I have one more assessment that I want you to complete. So I'll need to go back to my dashboard. And the last assessment you will complete is the Supers Work Values Inventory Revised. And here you'll learn more about what is most important to you. So I'll begin. Again, it's going to tell me how I want to respond to these, and 1, not being important at all, 2, somewhat important, 3, important, very important, 5, crucial, meaning very important. So let's just do a couple of these together. So number 1 says, how important is a job where I feel a sense of achievement at the end of the day? To me, this is crucial. I want to feel that every day I go to work, so I'm going to choose 5. Have good interaction with fellow workers. Again, very important to me. Try out new ideas. Again, very important, but not as important as these 2. Can get a raise if I want. Very important. And you'll answer the rest of these. Again, refrain from choosing number 3 because that will skew your results, not give you very good results. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this and show you what to do next. Alright, so after reviewing these, I want you to go in and answer the remaining questions from assessment 3. Again, the number 1, or the first question would be, what are your top 5 work values? And again, you take your top 5 work values there. Do any of these surprise you? And then go all the way to the last question, which is, after taking these assessments, my number 1 career choice is blank because blank. Alright, so if you have any questions after watching that video, make sure you either text, email, or you can even call me, whatever works best for you. But all the assessments and your responses to the questions will be due by next Sunday. So you will have all week to complete the assessments and complete the questions. If you want to do that all in one day, or if you want to stretch it out across the week, it's up to you. But just make sure that you're asking me questions if you have them, because I'm more than happy to help. All right, have a great week.